Have you ever considered the importance of the word and? Luke Powery at the preaching conference that Jeff and I attended a few weeks ago invited us to think about the phrase, God functions with conjunctions. It was a focus on the word and. Our God is an and God, he said. As examples, God is creator and redeemer and sustainer. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The examples are almost endless. Today, I wonder if we can consider our call, our place to be both good soil and good seed for God's kingdom, God's kingdom. We're reading in Mark's gospel, images, parables of the kingdom of God, seed scattered on the ground that grows and grows and then is harvested. A mustard seed planted, the smallest of the seeds, that becomes a plant so large that the birds can nest in its shade. To be good soil is to let the seed of God's word, God's love, grow in our lives in a way that changes us, transforms us. We're called to live justice and kindness and walk humbly with our God. And when we do that, our lives themselves become good seed to the good soil of others. Justice and kindness and walk humbly with God. These are the words of the prophet Micah. Love the Lord your God and your neighbor as yourself. Those are the words of Jesus. Faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love. These are the words of the Apostle Paul. So how do we live that? How do we live justice, kindness, humility, faith, hope, and love? Brian McLaren, an American writer and theologian, talks about the need for us to be good pastors to ourselves. To be a good pastor to ourselves is to be able to say to ourselves that we are beloved children of God. We are loved by God. We are loved with all our strengths and our weaknesses. We are loved with our faith and our doubt. We are loved with all the good and all the bad. And when we know that, then not only are we a good pastor to ourselves, but we can be a good pastor to others in all the diversity that life offers. God loves diversity. Think about the image of the seeds in a garden. We plant the same seeds, but we do not get identical plants. Yes, the science of cloning might raise a different point here, but I don't want to get off track. God loves diversity and differences, and they're a part of creation. Flowers are not identical even when they grow on the same plant. Beans and corn and squash, all different. Onions and apples, all different. Tomatoes and carrots, etc., etc., etc. God loves diversity. And when we think about people, well, clearly God loves diversity too. Even when we consider identical twins or those people who are our doppelgangers, we are diverse. And diversity is not just in appearance. Diversity is in every part of our humanity. It's in what we think. It's in what we feel. We are diverse. Part of being good seed and good soil is to recognize that this created diversity is beloved of God. We are created to be diverse, to be different from one another. And in the words of Luke Powery again, diversity does not have to be divisive. California Bishop Yvette Flunder talked about the conversion of Saul in the book of Acts. Saul, if you remember, is a great persecutor of Christians. He travels all over. And when he is traveling to Damascus, a light shining from the heavens surrounds him. And he hears a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? I am Jesus. And then, as the story goes, he is unable to see, even though his eyes are open. The disciple, Ananias, is sent to him to lay hands on him so that Saul may regain his sight. But Ananias does not want to go to Saul because Saul has persecuted so many Christians. But God is persistent, and Ananias does what God asks, and Saul is converted. And as the story goes, Saul becomes Paul. And Paul becomes foundational to the spreading of the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. Bishop Flunder says there has to be an interface with diversity to grow God's kingdom. There has to be an interface between Ananias and Saul before there can be a Paul. And perhaps a part of that interface with diversity is to recognize the importance of and. God loves you and me. God calls me and you with all our strengths, with all our weaknesses, with all our faith, with all our doubt, in order to live justice and love mercy and walk humbly with God, in order to let faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love, we must know our place as seed, spreading the word, and as soil, letting the word grow in us. This is the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thanks be to God, this day and always. Amen.